Okay, recording.
Mic's on.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, we're recording now. Welcome to our welcome to the start of our annual semi-annual thing where we get together and talk about the stuff.
Our goal is 6 months, right? Every
The
6
goal
months.
was 6 months actually.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we were planning about this since when? What? We thought that we would do this in a year or two. 7 months. Now we're here.
I would say there's a lot of goals that we've had that hit way earlier than expected, and then a lot of goals that are gonna hit way later now.
Mhm.
So, the podcast is definitely something that we want to do when we're actually accomplishing big things, and that's kind of why we're making this right now. It's because big things are happening at a fast pace. So,
Right. So
yeah.
now that you're talking about big things, I want to divert your attention, and I actually want to know how it all started. Like, what was the origin? Because I joined way later,
Hmm.
but you've been here in this thing for the last 5 years now.
Yeah.
So, just if you take this 1 year away, how it all started.
So obviously my dad was a truck driver, right? It's kind of like my biggest thing, the reason why I'm in the industry. My dad was a truck driver. It's been almost 10 years since that's kind of happened. He lost his business. And that's what got me into the industry. And he was getting screwed over by, big brokers, big brokerages, and kind of frustrated me to really know why these brokers are screwing the drivers, right? So that was like my biggest thing. So I ended up getting into the industry as a freight broker because I didn't want to drive the trucks.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, not something that I liked because he was always gone, and it's just something I can do remotely.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Ended up, learning the freight brokering side. Found out what they're doing and how to resolve that by teaching truck drivers how to
Mm-hmm.
cut that bad broker out because there's good brokers and there's bad brokers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my main passion was to figure out a way to give the knowledge to the truck drivers so they don't have to run into issues like my dad did, right? He lost his business, it sucked. I was a kid, it's devastating, it was huge tragedy, but um, yeah, I learned a lot from it and ended up, opening up my own brokerage about 5 years after that. Had my own brokerage for about 5 years. Uh, and yeah, man, at this point, through my journey of building a brokerage, I found there's so many people out there that aren't doing it right,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's just so many people that are brokering but just taking advantage of the driver because it's so easy to, right? When you go to a shipper, you ask to move their freight, you have full control over the money. Then you pay the driver to do the job, right? So all of these brokerages and all of these truck drivers, well, the truck drivers are just relying on the brokers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really it's a hard industry, to be successful if you don't know what you're doing. But if you have the tools, you have the knowledge on both ends, dude, sky's the limit. And that's what truck drivers don't know, that you can actually learn this,
So,
you know?
help me understand this. And I don't want a textbook definition,
Okay.
but what I want to know from you with your experience is if you had to differentiate between a good broker and a bad broker,
Hmm.
how would you do that? What makes you think that this person is a really really good broker, and what is the opposite of it?
Yeah. So a good broker is someone that actually truly cares about both parties. The shipper, person that has the product that needs it moved,
Mm-hmm.
and then the truck driver, right? So, of course, the way we get paid is we charge the shipper X amount of dollars, right? $1,000, for example. Then we hire a driver to do it for however much you can agree to, right? So what a bad broker does is try to chop down the rate as low as possible to the driver
Mm-hmm.
rather than coming to an agreement and say, hey, where do you need to be, right? Where's the rate that you need? But understanding the mileage, understand what they have to go through, understand how much they have to pay in fuel, insurance, and building a real relationship with the drivers, but also building a real relationship with the shippers.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a good broker. If you're just trying to screw the drivers, you're in a constant fight against who gets the bottom rate. So you're always trying to find new carriers rather than building a relationship with the driver being a very good broker, always giving them the freight because they're going to work with you, and just
Mm-hmm.
having this automated business.
Mm-hmm.
People don't understand you will make more money in the long run if you take care of your drivers because they're going to want to constantly work with you, so it makes your job easier. Next time you get that load, that driver's going to want it because you paid them well, right? So that means more
Right.
volume. More volume, more profit.
Right. So essentially, to tone it down, a good broker would be the person who knows how to keep good relations between your shipper and the drivers, making sure that drivers are paid well enough so that they can work with you again.
Yes. It's a
Essentially,
relationship built business.
mm-hmm,
Everything is about relationship. I would say about 70 to 80% of it is relationship, right?
mm-hmm,
Building a real genuine relationship with these people. Like actually genuinely caring about the driver. See, a lot of brokers, and the reason why they're bad is because they don't understand what the truckers have to go through. For me, my dad was a truck driver, so I understood the type of stuff he had to go through. Understood when he was sitting at a location trying to get loaded, it took 6 hours, and the broker didn't pay detention. They pocketed the detention, which is money if you don't know, or if anybody doesn't know. Detention is a basically if you're sitting there for a certain period of time, after about 2 hours, there's always a policy. After 2 hours, you should get paid X amount of dollars while you're sitting there. Okay,
okay,
so um, a lot of brokers out there just don't know what the truckers have to go through, and that's what makes kind of a bad broker, is not really understanding both sides, because these larger corporations just go and hire a bunch of college students that want to get rich overnight, and it just never works out for the driver, right?
mm-hmm.
Because they're in control of the money, man. It's just a kid behind a computer rather than a person with a passion trying to help these drivers.
So essentially, what we are learning right now, or what we've learned so far, is it's not the shipper, it's not the broker, it's not even the dispatcher in this scenario, but it's just the driver that's getting impacted by everything, and it's actually the driver's doing most of the work.
They do all of the work.
All of the
Literally
work.
all of the work.
All of the
they're
work.
they're going to the pickup locations. They're picking up the freight that me and you live off of. Like
Mm-hmm.
without the drivers, bro, we wouldn't have any of this equipment. We wouldn't have the water to drink or the
Mm-hmm.
clothes on our back. I always say it, but
You always say that.
you know, it's so true, and it's something that people don't really talk about. I don't know if it's that they don't know or they don't want to educate themselves on it, but dude, the truckers are the reason why we have everything, and that's why I have such a passion. Push
Mhm.
chill bumps on my body, but like,
Actually,
yeah, I
is.
have a passion
Mm-hmm.
to help these drivers. It's something that I've been trying to do for the past 5 years. Really, is my main goal. Obviously, 10 years, it built up from there. But that fifth year, when I opened up my brokerage, my main passion was to be a good broker and build as many good brokers as possible.
Yeah.
That's what makes this industry healthy again.
And that's coming from your personal experience.
Mhm.
So, not everyone will be able to relate to your story, or I don't think that you can even expect, or we can even expect anyone to relate to this story. But what we are trying to do at this point in this industry is we're trying to be that one person who's just being good to everyone.
Yeah.
And essentially, my goal is with the truck drivers because I know they do a lot of work, right? So it's better that we do that. And that's where I want to bring up, um, you know, I want to highlight a part in this conversation now that we've talked about good brokers, right? And bad brokers too. But there are different types of brokers nowadays that are even worse than the bad brokers. And I want you to explain the difference, or I wouldn't say the difference, but why a bad broker is a bad broker and a double broker is the worst broker of them
Mm.
all, and why it's not beneficial for the truck driver.
It's kind of insane because the past, I would say the past 2 years, double brokering almost became like a new thing for people to make, like like to scam the industry, right? Um, I have strategies to make sure that that doesn't happen to you, right? I have strategies. It's simple strategies, but not everybody knows them, right? Because they
Mhm.
don't go through. Because I went through it, right? I had to fail, lose money, and then I learned from it, right? So yes, there's bad brokers, which is bad, but there's also double brokers, which is scammers.
Mhm.
People that will act as if they're carriers, right? They'll act as if they're carriers. They go and take a load from a broker on the load board. They go and repost it, acting like a carrier. Now they're acting like a broker. Go and repost it to a driver that actually is going to move that load for them. So now this guy is acting as the broker. They go and pick up the load, they go and deliver the load, they pay the scammer instead of this guy, and then this guy, the fake broker, gets the money from the other broker, right? When they get paid, this guy disappears. Now the broker's out of money, the driver's out of money. This is a scam that you can avoid by going on FMCSA, typing in their information, like an MC number, right? So if you go on a load board and you see a new broker that you're working with, right, and you feel a little, either way you should do this, but if you feel a little sketchy about it, call the company directly. FMCSA has all of their information. Call the number directly and say, hey, this guy's working under your company. I just want to make sure that he's working with your company, right? And if they say yes, then you're in the clear. But if they say no, there's something fishy going on, right?
And that's where the major issue is happening nowadays, that whenever we move anything, right, I've got so many testimonials from many of the truck drivers that they first, because they were very new with us, they never thought we were genuine.
Yeah.
And it is okay, it's acceptable. But after moving the load, and when we paid them the way that we usually pay everyone, because we do have a certain percentage that we follow, so that's when the testimonials come in, and that was actually what made me realize about this scam. And thankfully we talked about it.
Sorry to cut you off, but I want to piggyback off what you said before you go too
Mhm.
far. One thing that I love about this industry, and we might at the beginning, me and you might have thought it would have been a
Definitely.
hard thing, and it sucks that this industry, they all think that we're all bad, and we have to prove to ourselves that we're not. But if you think about it, in the long run, if we're not doing bad, we're going to be visual to these guys that know a good broker rather than a bad broker. So you have to earn your stripes, right? It's these drivers have been abused. It's like a dog that's been abused, right? He's been beaten. If you go up to the dog, he's gonna probably try to bite at you because he doesn't know if you're, okay. Well, when you build a relationship with them, and they figure out who you are, that's when you start doing business with them, and he might not bite you this time. So I think that this industry, there's been so much abuse to the drivers. I think it's beneficial for someone that's a good broker in the long run, because we're going to build relationships with these people. You have to build a relationship, right? All the bad brokers are going to eventually be seen, and they're going to be flushed out, right? But you got to know how to identify it. That's the issue.
Okay. And one last thing before we move on to the next thing, and this is something that we definitely need to address,
Mm-hmm.
is the freight guard, right? I've seen so many. I mean, it is very disheartening when you see a driver and then there's a broker and then there's a war going on and then there's just a freight guard on you.
Yeah. See, that's really bad. Like, that's something in the industry that's, of course, it's good in our end because the drivers don't have the ability to freight guard us, because these larger companies, should I say the name or no?
No, don't
Okay.
say the name.
Okay. So there's companies out there that have reviews on people, right? But they're backed by the brokers. The brokers are who pay them for that system so that they can figure out if there's bad drivers to who's good drivers, right? But there's no transparency. It's like a one-sided business for this industry. And there's no business for the truck drivers, right? There's no way that the truck drivers can say this broker's a bad broker. So it's hard for the drivers to know who's bad on the brokering side. And I think it's terrible that it's that way, but of course that's something that we're going to come up with.
Yeah, that's something that we're working on, and we want to make sure that the system is so transparent that no one can take benefit of this.
Yeah.
Right. So hopefully, in future we should have a product that not only helps the brokers but the drivers, but literally everyone in the industry.
This product it will be made. We are going to make the product because it needs to happen. Because if you think about it, that's the solution to all of the problems, right? If you have both sides working with each other, you have all of the good brokers finding that there's good drivers, and if they can both kind of connect and review on both ends, it's easy to identify, right?
Mhm.
So once you start to call out the bad ones, you flush them out, right? So the reason why it's so hard right now is because the drivers don't have the ability to freight guard the freight brokers. So it's just a bunch of freight brokers. And then we look at the drivers and these guys are blackmailed. But the brokers are scammy. There's so many scams out there. There's so many bad brokers. They will put a freight guard on a driver just because they got in an altercation about detention time or something. There's no like uh, dispute behind it. It's like the companies want the brokers to keep paying for the service. It's not okay. It's not right.
Okay.
It's bad for the industry.
And that's so essentially we've been talking so much truth. We might get a lot of hate for this, probably from the broker side. And again, I think we're the only ones who are going against us and creating our own competition.
Yeah.
Is what people usually tell us, but it's different for us to visualize what we do, because what we're trying to do is bring a neutral system to the industry and do good by people. um, we'll eventually will be able to do that without a hesitation, but for now there are struggles, and that's what I want to talk to you about. Is you've been in this business for over 5 years. I've just joined, so like a year ago, but what do you think in all of these years, what what is that one thing that is super dark, and what's the other thing that's super bright when it's come to your entrepreneurship journey?
As far as entrepreneur as a whole, not even like freight brokering.
No, as a whole.
Um, so entrepreneurship is obviously a tough task. It's nothing. There's nothing easy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's a lot of people out there that doubt themselves by thinking that they're not smart enough because they don't know, right? Anything that you don't know, of course, you're going to feel dumb about it until you learn it, then now you're smart to somebody that doesn't know it, right? So, entrepreneurship is all about failure, right? Going through things, failing multiple times, and then finally seeing a little progression, learning from that, using that, and then fail more times so that some type of success happens. You just keep building from that. See, the reason why people don't become successful is because that first failure, it's going to scare them. But they have to understand the bigger picture. They have to have a passion. They have to have a purpose. That was one of my things, is I had a purpose, right? Not only to get into the freight industry, but to help brokers and the truck drivers and make the industry greater so that we all can profit. We can all make, I mean, of course, freight brokering is the most important industry in the world. I mean, we wouldn't have anything, right? So having a passion behind it, through my struggles, I've had at least 4 to 5 bad business deals. Not even in the freight brokering world, but like I had multiple businesses to keep myself up, to make money, to pay my bills and stuff while doing my passion. And I've had people that have taken my businesses because I didn't have certain contracts in place. And believe it or not, man, I think that those were the biggest blessings.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think of that when it happened, but now that I've went through all of it, it's taught me so much, and it brought me to someone that actually cares, right? So I had to fail, and then succeed, and I found you, right? So if I didn't go through all of those failures, I wouldn't ever have found you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know it sounds cliche or whatever, and we've only been in business for a year, but remember, all of the wisdom that I've built over the years, I understand what I want. It's not about how much skill you have. It's not about how, you know, like what you can do and the systems you know. And of course, you're very smart, but it's not that. It's all about the work ethic and like what aligns with what I know and how can I teach you and how can you teach me at the same exact time. That's what made me want to work with you, because I know you're going to learn it. You're going to work hard to learn it. And it's proven, man. I mean, we're on another level right now.
I mean, most of them doesn't know the fact that I started actually working for this company as a freelancer. Right? I was working as a freelancer, then I took a job. After taking a job, I kind of became this, chief operating officer, and then that didn't make me happy for some reason. And then we got onto the next step where we're literally working together. But
Can we talk a little bit about that? Or I mean,
Yeah,
of course, we're not
sure.
going to go in depth of where
Yeah.
we were and where but I do want to talk about how it happened. I mean, it really was a miracle, and I can only thank God, uh, because it just there's no way that it just happened that way. It just like we sit here, yeah, we're having the podcast, but when we sit down with each other and we're personally talking, we always bring this part up. We go, how in the world did we meet each other?
Mm-hmm.
He is from India, Pune, India.
Yeah.
I'm from Plant City, Florida, and somehow we connected. And we both took a risk. The way it
Mm.
happened was I met him, we had a great conversation, and for some reason, something made me say, hey, reach out to me. Right?
Exactly.
And I didn't think he would reach out to me. I was hoping, but prior to this, of course, I got screwed by so many other business people.
Mm-hmm.
Found you, and every day, well, not every day, but very often, I would pray to find someone that would be on the same, like, brotherhood, team, like, loyalty. That's all what really matters to me, and I found that through you. But what I'm trying to get at is, we connected. We had one conversation. It was super awkward, and like, for some reason, we just started working with each other. We talked about a plan. You took the risk to jump with the company because you had a vision. I had a vision. We knew exactly what we were gonna do. For some reason, it happened like that, and now we're here.
Exactly. Like I posted it in the recent post. Like, no blueprint, two souls, one vision, right? But
Wi-Fi connection.
and a Wi-Fi connection, and we really made it happen. But I personally believe that the reason I took that jump though is because I was tired.
Yeah.
I was tired of doing every single thing like the same thing, getting up every single day, go to your, open your laptop, work for companies, and just end your day, and then just pray that you have your salary coming, and then it's the same cycle, right? And there was nothing that I was achieving from it, and it was just making me more tired. So I kind of decided, you know what? Let's just fuck it.
So I never asked you this question. I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad that I'm able to do that. So yeah, you wanted to do something new, but like, I'm sure you had a lot of other opportunities, because we spoke about this.
Yeah, we did.
There's so many other opportunities. What actually made you take that leap? Because it like makes no sense to me. The
Okay.
fact that you did it, I was like, this guy's perfect. He has all the visions that I have, the loyalty, the trust, the brotherhood, like all of it just made sense. And what the fuck made you do that? Sorry for my
No, it's
like-
okay. I mean, we're being as open as we can right now. I think what made me do it is the fact that I know that I can make something big out of it. I had the opportunities, right? There were businesses that I could approach, and I'm pretty sure that I had so many offers that I could have joined anything. The only reason I went for this, it's because first there is something that you're creating from the bottom, right? You're building something. It's the journey that matters. It's not the achievement that matters the most, and that's what kind of fuels me. And many people, or no one even in my family, would understand this, or anyone apart from the someone who has the same will and fire, is people don't just do things to get successful. It's the drive, it's the will to achieve it, and it's the part of creation that you're creating something that is very valuable and meaningful, not only to you but for everyone who's going to be a part of it. It's something that makes me happy.
And one thing that we always agree on, it's not about the money.
It's never about the money.
Money's great, but when you have something that could really help people, especially in this industry, if you help, money comes along with it, man. We know that. Like, we don't money is like, that's not what we're driving for. And if anybody is opening up a business, don't
Yeah.
ever
That's one thing that everybody
and-
needs
and-
to get right.
that's what I love about our relationship, is that we never ever let money get in between us.
Right.
Ever. We have a purpose, we have a passion for what we're doing, And that's what drives us. It's not about money. Get the money out of your head. Money is a tool. What can we do to use money to make something out of it, to show more people, to influence people? Because right now we're building an influence, and our main goal is to get people to trust us. Remember, these people have been abused, right? We need to build and build and build until these guys can trust us, of course, and then give them the proper knowledge that they need.
100%. And money was the biggest issue. If you remember our old days, we were barely making anime. We were literally scratching the surface.
Yeah.
And those all nighters that we used to work, even though if it's the smallest thing, whether it's the smallest thing on the website or it's the payment issue, the gateways and everything.
Oh man,
Oh.
I remember when you jumped in, it was a mess of a company, wasn't it? See, that's
Yeah.
what I was missing, you know, like someone with structure, right? Because I don't have that. Just like somebody could be an artist, someone could be, you know, they could lack the artist
Mhm.
ability, right? I just didn't have that like structure. And when you came in, I overloaded you with work.
Yeah, I know.
I overloaded you with work. There was
Yeah.
there was many times where we were like, dude,
Right.
this is not gonna like
It
we might not
was-
pull through, but we always found a way to get through it. And that was the main thing. And see, that's what I love the most is that we can speak about those times that were hard, because now those hard times are so easy to us. We can get through so much more.
Toughest 6 months of my life. I can guarantee you on that.
I mean, we just started like making traction. If
Literally.
I've had this business for 5 years, and the traction just hit. It was just like Jeff Bezos said, someone could be doing something for 4 years, and that fifth year is when he really succeeds, right? And that's
Mhm.
exactly what happened with me. So that's why it resonates to me. So it's like, and I have friends. You believe it or not, man. I have people that went to my wedding that told me, like, dude, you've been doing this for 3 to 4 years. You haven't even succeeded. Like,
Give
when
up.
are you gonna get money? Like, cause I would tell people like, you know, I just don't want to, you know, go out and drink and go to parties or go to the club.
Hold on. Hold on. Let this guy finish his barking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to.
Yeah. So where I was getting was
The 5 year part at your wedding.
yeah. So I've had people that were so close to me that that I always thought were like the closest people to me. But again, it doesn't mean that they hate me. It doesn't mean that they don't want me to succeed. I think it's mainly their insecurities, and I had to be wise enough to know that like maybe it's someone's insecurity that when they see someone being successful, it makes them feel bad about themselves. They have to kind of push you to stop doing it. If that
Mhm.
ever comes into anybody, don't listen to that, right? But these are the type of people that will bring you out, get you to go and get drunk at night, go to the clubs, waste your time. You can't surround yourself with people like that. That is one of the biggest advice I can give you is like, or anyone, right? Do not surround yourself with people that you don't want to be.
You don't want to be near.
It's better to be alone than to be around people that
Mhm.
are just not on the same wavelength, you know?
And that kind of brings me to this is one has to be wise enough for them to understand what is the greatest company for them. And if you're not at that level, then you're definitely missing something in your life. Just cut him off. It is as simple as that. If you think that the person's not right for you, or they cannot work as hard as you can or as smart as you can, you have to not technically cut them off, because again, if you're friends, you have to be friends with them. There is nothing that questions that. The only thing that you want to choose is how much of a friendship that you want to commit to them. And when I say this, it's all about time, because one thing that I've learned very hard in my life is how important time it is.
Oh yeah.
Although I'm thankful that I wasted all of my 4 5 years of this just for that time thing, and
It's
I
preparation.
understood it, right?
It
But
prepared you for this.
yeah, it kind of prepared me.
It did.
It did, 100%. It did. But after that, the actual time came. And now that I want to answer your question, what made me push it so much? Well, here's the weirdest thing that has happened to me, and I was kind of questioning myself. And if anybody's watching this, and if you're wondering that if this thing is happening to you and how you should get away from it, uh, this is an answer coming from my own personal experience. Um, First of all, you need faith in everything that you do, and with faith, there comes a point of your faith, and for me, it's God, right? So whatever happens in my life, I always thank Him for doing whatever is He's doing to me. I mean, bro, a few years ago, I'd never even thought that I would travel somewhere, right? And that too for a business purpose. But God will put you through most hardest ways possible, and would make you the loneliest person ever that you've never even imagined that you can be this lonely. But when you're that lonely and when you literally don't have anyone around you, that's when he starts to work on you, right? This is where one has to go ahead and put the 100, 200, 10,000% of efforts for to get better, but not get out of that situation. You have to stick in, get better, and the moment you're out, things change like this.
Yeah, I can totally agree to that. And I actually, from experience, the past few years, I've gotten so close to God, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because before all of that, I wasn't as close, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a really tragic thing happened to me about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I had cancer. It was a large plasmacytoma tumor in my neck.
Mm-hmm.
Came out of nowhere. Um, and one thing that I want to bring up is I know we were talking about how going through things make you a better person, and like I think those times, just like when I lost my business to somebody else.
Well, that's another struggle when you shoot in a different country
Yeah.
and the most remotest areas. There's just randomly someone at the street.
Yeah. So, um, me, whenever I had that cancer, I had nobody to talk to. I had the, if you look up plasmacytoma, it's like one of the rarest cancers. They had no idea why it was in my body because I was such a young age, right? They had no idea, and anybody that I spoke to, they just they would just say, "Oh, everything's gonna be okay." And in my head, I'm like, "No, it's not. Like, how are you? You're just
Yeah,
saying
that's the
this. You
worst.
have no idea. You have no idea. Who do I talk to?" Like, it was the biggest mental battle that I ever have been through. It's the hardest thing that I've ever been through. It overexceeds business, entrepreneurship, over anything. Is the mental battle to know, I hope I'm gonna survive. I hope I'm gonna live because at any point nothing matters besides your health, right? And I that's when I got close to God. I prayed to him, I spoke to him, and he gave me those answers because I found out all of the answers were within myself. It wasn't like because I would speak to my mother would give me love, right? And I greatly appreciate it, but it just wasn't enough. I found that all of my answers were within myself. It was God that was going to tell me that everything is going to be okay. And you always make yourself sick by stressing yourself out. Like I was getting sick from the amount of stress that I had. Like, you can ask my wife. Like, she was the best thing that's ever happened to me. I mean, she was there for me, and she wasn't like emotional or anything. She just like, you're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be all right. Pray. Everything's gonna be okay. I mean, man, I don't want to get emotional here, but she is
Yeah, I can definitely see
probably
you getting
the
goosebumps.
biggest thing that's, I mean, even from a young age. I've been dating her for pretty much my whole life. She's my high school sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
Been married to her, happily married for, we've been together for 10 years. Um, and I wasn't the best kid as a young kid. So, I met her. She put me on in a pathway that was like, everything roots from like the beginning. Like, when I think back to who I was, I would never have been here without meeting her. And there's this long area of like bad things that's happened to me, and it all made this. It's
It's all
so weird
connected.
how it happens, and it's hard to even explain. But like, how the hell did I meet you? Right?
Exactly.
Like, it
Bro,
just makes no
everything's
sense.
connected. Everything's connected because that just goes the same for me, right? I don't want to address any person right now,
Yeah.
but uh, there are certain things that has happened in a very certain way, and that led to me where I am right now. So I don't think everything's planned for you. I mean, nobody, God would never. I don't think God is is that entity or someone, because who would just make someone rich as richer and make someone poor as poorer,
Mm-hmm.
right? People just blame things onto the part where, oh, everything's planned. Why should I work? No, He has created pathways for you. You're supposed to choose your own path and work on it, and the more you work on it, you'll get better at it. And that's where people go wrong. They just think, oh, everything's planned. Why should I work? If you don't work, karma's gonna hit you back.
Yeah.
So you have to work. You have to make sure that you take that grind and you go ahead with it. And well, this is, it's a very interesting topic for me. So I've just recently hired someone, but before that, it was only me,
Mm-hmm.
right? We've been building our sales team. We've been building everything that we could, but I never, ever felt the need of getting someone to work, at least for the my side of the business. And that's kind of, it kind of looks funny now that I ended up with someone who turned out to be my, we've become more than partners now. It's like
We're brothers.
we've reached that brotherhood, and it's the same thing with the guy who I'm working with,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's the same thing. So building a business with the people that you love is, it's a very surreal feeling, because you don't have to go to the other person and tell them, hey, you're wrong here, and this is how you fix it. You just go and tell them, we made a mistake. And then now the whole team is brainstorming about it, and everybody's coming up with their own answers, and there's no one who needs to talk to anyone about this. It's just the idea needs to be, you know, say that. You just need to talk about the idea and go ahead with it, and everybody works, and just things just builds itself.
Mm-hmm.
And the reservation and the doubts, they take no place. They take literally no place. So when you started building your businesses back then with the people, like I'm not the first person you've built a business with. Like
Mm-hmm.
you've had a lot of bad experiences.
Yeah.
So
About 5 businesses. Yeah. Like, from subscription businesses taken from me after making a lot of money per month. But it's cool because all of my businesses were like driven for a purpose.
to a purpose, yes.
It's not about the money. I didn't care about the money. I learned a lot from those failures. So I thank those people, bro. Honestly, I really, truly thank those people. These people that actually did me wrong, bro,
Why don't you
those are my best people, you know?
why,
Like,
why
thank
don't you thank them right now?
Thank you very much. Thank you. I mean, without them, I swear, I'm telling you, bro, like, I will call all of those people and I will say thank you so much
For screwing me.
for screwing me over, because for because if I were to just stay in business with that one person, I wouldn't be here because I know them. Now that I know who they are, I was with the wrong person, right? Man, it's just it's so hard to find loyal people, and I think that's the hardest thing. And
Mm-hmm.
even we're still going through that, right? We finally found this connection right here, and we're like, okay, we need to build a brotherhood, right? We have a team. We have a team of what are we at now? About seven,
7.
seven, and every single one of them
Is gold,
are gold.
actually.
And it's like it just happened almost like within like a quick period of time. It was like so long to where we were trying to find them, and then out of nowhere, just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, that's where, I kind of take over things, because I know you want to scale. I know you want to go ahead. But I've always had that mentality, or I still do, and that's what we have a lot of, arguments over, is hiring the right person, right? for me, I would have one person who can be as smart as like 10 people and pay that guy the most than paying these 10 dumps who just can't even do single task in a time frame,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's our biggest struggle so far, that we've been so focused on getting the right person to do the job and not worry about how much we pay them.
Mm-hmm.
We want to pay everyone fairly, but if you guys are making money with us, definitely you're going to make more.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to be the right person for the job, and that's what people don't get it.
Yeah. Dude, if like what I know today, and if let's just say I didn't have a business of my own, if I were to go and work for a business, what I would do is work for them and do as much as I can under their business to help them in every single angle. Not ask for a raise, get paid what they're paying you for, but do everything you can to do extra work so that you can learn. Obviously, you're going to learn all of that, right, for
Mm-hmm.
free. But that's how you get paid more, right? If you learn more skills within the company and force it to happen, you're going to get paid more because they're going to say, okay, this guy knows what to do, so I'm going to pay him more, right? People always expect someone to just give them money
Mm-hmm.
and then like get paid so much money without even knowing certain skills or
Yeah.
working hard, right?
And I don't think nowadays it's not, now that we are actually at that position where we're actually hiring people. For me personally, someone with a like tons and tons of degrees, or you know a lot of work experience, because I've had people reaching out to me to get a job, uh, and they have really good resumes like that. There was with this one guy who had like different and different skills that he has learned and has a good amount of experience and whatnot. What here's what people don't understand, that that type of resume is a good for a big multinational company,
Mm-hmm.
because they have 10 replacements of you.
Yeah.
So if you mess up, they have someone else who will cover it up. But when you approach a company that's building from the ground, they would not care about what you carry in the past, but the type of character that you have, right? If you're the right person for the job and if you're right for everything, I don't think that your degrees or your education, obviously it does matter. I mean, basic things are required, but it depends more on the type of person you are, because if you're good, you're going to bring good revenue to the company, and the company will be thankful to you,
Mm-hmm.
right? It is as simple as that, but
Yeah, and you're
people just
right.
don't get it.
You're right. Like if I were to have a few job interview or like interview a few people to come and work for me, I study the psychology behind it. I study who they are and the little things that they do, and I toss little things into there to see if they react in a different way, right? And if they react that way, I know what type of person there is. This guy is like he's good with that psychology stuff, but it's so amazing because it's true. Sometimes people aren't mature enough to take that position and go
100%.
learn it. Maybe you need to fail some more to now have that badge to come and work for us, right? You have to understand that like we know those type of people,
Mm-hmm.
and if that person, let's just say they're egotistic, right? For example, if they're egotistic, I threw one thing out there, just saying, well, why aren't you doing any more than that? Why aren't you making any more money? If they react in a negative way, it's not who I want to work with, right? So those are what matter the most,
Mm.
you know, like who you are, the will for you to actually want to learn, fail and be okay with it, learn from it. Um, but yeah, yeah.
This is one of the major reasons that we have gone ahead and rejected so many people who wanted to take the course that we sell, because I would rather work with someone who's good and genuine, because again, if we are trying to change the industry, we cannot afford to have a broker who's just going to take the benefit of it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Exactly.
Our goals, our vision are completely different than anyone out there. So yeah, if you're someone who's thinking about joining us and just screw the truck drivers, we will be the biggest competitors for you, and we will make sure that you will have the toughest competition ever, even though you've graduated from us. Because one thing that needs to be taken care of is everybody's treated fairly. just because you're a broker, you shouldn't be paid high, and just because you're a truck driver, also, you shouldn't be expecting a lot from the broker. Everybody's working, everybody needs to get paid fairly, but yeah, the fairness comes into the part where you have to take that efforts, right? The truck drivers are the most hardworking ones, so they definitely deserve to be paid more. But there are some truck drivers out there who just expect everything,
Oh yeah, yeah, and just like that's every industry,
and
right?
it's human. It's human
It's
tendency.
human, and that's how you can identify who that person is, right? It's like, oh, he's that type of person. He's the same guy that wants to learn accounting. I give him a book, but he doesn't read it. He's
Hmm.
that same guy. If you're not going to take the time to go and learn something that's going to benefit you, you will always be in the same position that you're in, right? You have to learn. These truck drivers have to understand. Stop pointing the finger. Stop blaming everyone else when the solution is right in front of you. It's learn what they're doing,
Hmm.
right? Learn what the brokers are doing. And that's what we do. I mean, we teach people, we teach truck drivers. Again, my dad lost his business, and I wish I could have done this for him because he would probably have a massive trucking company right now. But everything happens for a reason. Because without him losing that company, I wouldn't be where I'm at. But
Hmm.
anyways, um, where was I going with that?
Your father's company and the brokering side and
Yeah.
how we.
So the solution, truck drivers, solution. It doesn't have to be from me. It doesn't have to be from anyone in my company or whatever. Just go and learn what the brokers are doing. As simple as just go on our social media, because I post a bunch of really good content on what truckers need to know. Go there, start there, right? Take a course, understand what the brokers are doing and how they're screwing truck drivers. Because if you know that, there's a good chance you won't get screwed anymore,
Yeah.
right? It's little things. Like there's systems that you can see to check your work, but without knowing the real brokering side, systems don't mean anything because you don't know how to read it.
Exactly.
There's so much to it.
Right. And this is something that I would want you to address something to the truck drivers. That why we are the only ones who are doing it right now, and why, if you don't want to buy our course, it's still okay,
Yeah.
right? Because we rarely, I mean, 99% of the 90% of the time, I would say, we send the money back just because you're not the right person
Mm-hmm.
for this.
I love that you said that because that's very true. If you're not the right person, we'll send your money right
Well,
back.
I should say this. That's the only reason that we're not profitable and we're not renting out a Lamborghini
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
But
Yeah, exactly.
if you get that pun, then you're at the right podcast.
I love that. I love that. I love that you say that because all of these people that are selling courses, you want to jump in a Lamborghini tomorrow? You'll be rich tomorrow. Do not buy that guy's course, please.
Yeah, you're gonna be screwed.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We're,
But
yeah, go back to what you were saying because I had a really good.
see, the reason I'm saying that truck drivers, if you cannot even afford, or I mean, afford is a very wrong word, and I apologize for that. But if you don't want to buy the course, it's still okay, right? But if you want a good advice, right, you want to be saved, yes, you can reach out to us. Yes, there is a certain delay that you can expect because of the amount of workload that we have, and we're so keen about who we get in with in the business. Uh, but yeah, I mean, if you need any advice, you can contact him. He will tell you, and he
We
will teach you about why the brokering or learning the side of being a broker is important for you, and why you should be the one who should be pursuing this and become your own broker and cut that middleman out.
Yeah, and I to piggyback on what you said, we are the only ones doing this right now.
Only once.
We're the only brokers that are showing the truck drivers what the brokers are doing. So we get a lot of controversy. We get a
Oh,
lot of
100%.
brokers and truck drivers, even though we're trying to help them.
Yeah, we get attacked from both sides,
Oh,
bro.
well, of course, when you're doing something right,
Mm-hmm.
someone's got to say something, right? But so we get a lot of controversy from the brokering side. We've even had a little lawsuit that didn't fall through because, of course, because we're not doing anything wrong. People just don't want us to tell what the brokers are doing, right? So The best thing about it is the brokers are really trying to make us stop doing what we're doing, because if we open up, it's only going to be good for the industry. It's going to cut out all the bad brokers, right? So if we teach these truck drivers how to cut out the middleman or work with a good broker, they're only going to work with good brokers,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the bad ones are going to now, because the bad ones are the ones yelling at us saying, motherfucker, right? All the good ones aren't, because
Yeah.
they don't care. They don't need to worry about us taking away all the bad stuff, all the scams that they're doing.
It's
'Cause
good
they're
for the
doing
industry.
good. It's
Yeah.
very good, and that's why we're building that platform.
We're technically garbage man at this point, right? We're just taking out all of the trash.
Yes, yes, and nobody's doing it on the brokering side, right? Because the trucking side, they don't know what the brokers are doing. All they can do is just riot and protest. See,
Mhm.
us, we're brokers. We own a brokerage. We know exactly what they're doing. We reveal all the bad things that they're doing, so the truck drivers can avoid that or learn what they're doing and do it themselves and be their own brokers. Cut
Mhm.
the middleman out. Learn to be your own broker, because
Mm.
not only is it beneficial to your trucking company, but what if you wanted to open up a brokerage as
Mhm.
well? Or just be a broker, get out of the truck. Now you have another skill. It's just a no-brainer.
Yeah, and on that point, because everything's related to money, everything is related to money. Brokers are truck drivers. They're given a vision nowadays, and that's the really, really bad practice that I'm seeing in the industry. That hey, this is a quick buck, this is a quick get rich scheme.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to also highlight, because we have done it, and coming from our experience, how hard it is actually, or how difficult, or and when I say hard or difficult, I don't want you to talk about the time phrase. Like it may take you 7 years to do this,
Mm-hmm.
right? But how difficult it is for someone to build a six-figure income from the same industry that we are in.
It's not hard at all.
It's not hard.
And the reason why I say that, and let me elaborate, because it is hard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not hard for a certain person.
Mm-hmm.
You know the conversation that we had prior, or a few minutes ago? You have to be a certain person. You have to have a purpose. You have to have a passion. If all of those align and you have faith, you will be successful.
Mm-hmm.
If you have that mindset of, I am going to be successful, I have a purpose, I'm going to wake up every single day and perform no matter what happens. I don't care if I don't feel like working. If you wake up and perform, you will be successful at everything that you do. But if you don't have that mindset, it's okay. You can build it over time. You need to have that as an entrepreneur, no matter what. I don't care what it is. If you don't have that mindset, or if you can't get yourself to start thinking that way, you will not be successful. But to answer your question, if you're a truck driver and you're wanting to open up a brokerage, it's so very simple to become a very successful freight brokerage. One, because you already have all the connections, you have all the knowledge in the industry, and all you have to do is start reaching out to these shippers
Mm-hmm.
and tell them, hey, no one knows your freight better than I do. I have physically have ran your freight, and I can literally start moving your freight tomorrow. I know what the load is about, because you look at BOLs, right?
Exactly.
If you look at their BOLs, they have the quote right in front of you. Brokers, the way they make money, they reach out to shippers, they get a quote from the customer. These truck drivers already have the quote. It's right in front of them. It's a BOL. And why wouldn't they want to trust a truck driver over just some random broker?
Exactly.
Dude, the truck drivers, it's literally a cheat code. Having those BOLs and knowing the industry,
100%.
it's a cheat code.
Yeah, and
So,
since
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, so since that cheat code that we were talking about, what I want to focus here right now is there is one more thing that we didn't address so far. I'm sorry that I keep checking it because I have to. I can't leave my job. But what I wanted to know with this is, why do you think that motivation is a big, 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 big factor? Whether it's you, whether it's me, whether it's anyone else in this industry, or literally doing anything else in your life, why do they have to be that certain person, the one that you were talking about right now? You need passion, you need fuel, you need grind, you need everything, ambition. But why motivation could be the best, and biggest key factor behind all of it?
You want me to be honest, or do you want me to lie to you?
100% honest.
All right. Fuck motivation. Simple as that. If you're gonna wake up in the morning and hope that you're motivated, you will be you're going to fail. It's just it's a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
You think I wake up? What the? It's a bumblebee.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're in Vietnam.
Mhm.
Okay, so fuck motivation. Uh, if you're gonna wake up every single day and hope that that motivation drives you, you're going to fail. It's a dead end. You think I wake up tomorrow, or you think I wake up every single day and want to wake up at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym and then go and work immediately right after that? No, man. I mean, I'm a human. After some time, I need some rest. But I have a passion.
Mm-hmm.
I have a mission. I have a purpose. I have faith. I've got God to watching me every single day. He's watching me, making sure that I perform.
Mm-hmm.
I have you as a team. I have my family watching me. I have everyone around me knowing that I'm going to influence this industry and help every single person in this industry to make more money and get away from scammers, get away from all the bad people. The passion is starting to like spill out too much, but what I'm trying to say is I love motivation. It's great because some days that motivation can take you further, but you got to build that motivation. It's got to come out of your body, and I think one of the main things is health.
Mm-hmm.
If I go and drink one night, there's going to be about 4 days where I'm recovering, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be recovering for 4 days. I'm in a detox stage. My mental, because of course alcohol is a depressant. You will feel depressed. You lose all motivation. So if you don't have motivation every single day, what are you doing wrong? That's what you need to do is identify what are you doing wrong. Is it the food that you're eating? Is it the content that you're consuming? Is it the people that you're around? Is it the drugs that you're doing? Is it the alcohol? Like, what is it? There's always some reason why you don't wake up today and want to be great, right?
100%.
I guess I answered the question. I'm not really sure, but
I mean, to sum it up easily, what's happening right now, and I've gone through that stage. So I would be my personal best example for myself at least. There was a time that I needed motivation. Um, I would not get up from the bed. I was depressed. Um, you and I, we were working and we were at the really the worst phase of the business because we were barely making any money, and I still remember it.
yeah.
But I think motivation is a part of your brain that can be used or should be used just as a stimulant, right? But the rest is the realization of your responsibilities and the realization of what you actually need to do rather than just, watching videos on the internet about, oh, I need this. No. Self learning is a different thing altogether. And if motivation is a part of it, yes, 100% agree,
Yeah.
right? But you're just getting up every day and watching Goku go Super Saiyan 3, and you think, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
yeah.
start with my day. It's not gonna work because there is no purpose behind anything that you're doing rather than just feeling energetic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's worthless.
And look, so when you said before, working for me, you just felt lack of motivation, right? You didn't even want to get out of bed, right? Well, let me tell you, was there a total difference? Because this guy dropped like what, 20 pounds? 20,
Yeah, probably.
15, something like that. Okay, so prior to that, when you're eating unhealthy food, right?
Mm-hmm.
To now you're eating clean food. Is there a total difference in your mindset
Yes.
and motivation? Is
100%.
motivation almost comes out of thin air when you're healthy. It seems much more available than when you're eating unhealthy foods because it's just your body it's not processing the right things. You're not giving your body the proper nutrients. And I think people are thinking like, dude, what the heck? Are you a nutritionist or are you a businessman?
No.
Well, being healthy is entrepreneurship.
100%.
It's half the battle.
Well, it's your body, and you gotta take care of it, right? What happens is when someone's going, it is agreeable, it is understandable that one would go through the worst phase or the bad phase of the life, right? You start drinking, you start eating unhealthy, you get to all of the bad habits that you can just because you think that it will make you go away from that pain. Understood? But what matters is even if you've done that, what do you do after that?
Yes.
Right? Like you've said, it takes 4 days for your body to recover from whatever alcohol that you take. Right? Same thing with me. Detoxification is really, really important, whether it's for your mind or whether it's for your soul. For me, the best part I would say was um, about recovering is my recovering phase just got worse and worse and worse and worse, and then I kind of built up that mindset that what can go wrong in this, right? And every single day there's a new story, and there's something exciting happening. I started finding that excitement, and I kind of got so attached to the part of having an exciting life with something, whether it's bad or whether it's good, and it was bad at that time,
Mm-hmm.
right? But living that excitement, and that kind of gave me a purpose, right? That just kind of opens your eyes. Okay, this is wrong, right? And then when you get away from that one thing, fix yourself, something else opens up, and it's just one door after another,
Mm-hmm.
and
Those doors weren't visible beforehand,
yeah,
right? It's like
exactly.
those doors will be visible once you go through those things.
And that's why I said God will put you to the worst and worst phases of your life only if you have the capacity to get up, and only if you have the capacity to move ahead. That's the only thing, or that's the only time when it's going to work out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you will go as deep as you can go, and He will put you through that
Yeah.
because He wants good for you. And people just blame Him. Why do you do this to me?
Yeah.
It's for
People
your own
forget that
good.
adversity creates character. That's what like makes you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And something that um people have commitments in their life, right? They have things that they have to do. Just like
Mm-hmm.
us. We have to wake up tomorrow and do our job. There's things that we have to do. There's people that we have to help. There's things that we have to do in our life to keep us healthy, keep our mind healthy. If we don't honor those commitments, let's just say making your bed is one of your commitments. If
Mm-hmm.
you don't make your bed in the morning and you don't honor that one commitment, your whole entire day is lack of confidence because you missed that commitment.
Exactly. No matter how much you plan to go to the gym, hit the gym, eat healthy, or anything, but everything starts from your own house.
Yeah.
Everything starts from your own room. You read 10 different books every day, because I'm kind of getting into it nowadays. But you read 10 different books every day, but if you just read it and flip the pages, take it as a story, nah, it's not helpful.
Yeah.
But rather I would have, I would read like 10 pages, or like whatever. It's not even the pages though, it's just until I hit that point where, okay, this is too much for me for today, and I need to do something else.
Yeah.
And then I would switch things, but keep myself busy, so that you're just not wasting your time. Because I've and I really want to talk about this, is how important time is. And you know it's very, 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 very important for you to realize the value. I mean, there's this thing that you and I do, that if you commit a time to me, or if I commit a time to you, let's say 9:15, right? We're supposed to meet at 9:15. If we're getting delayed, we would communicate beforehand. Hey, I will be delayed, but this is where, this is what I can make it,
Mm-hmm.
right? People just don't take this thing so seriously, that if you have a commitment towards time, you gotta honor it. Everything starts from there.
Oh yeah.
You first honor your commitments to your own time, right? You want to get up at 8, get up at 8. Simple as that.
If you don't, you're just depressed the whole day. You lack confidence. If you do every one of your commitments, you go into a meeting, you're the most confident person. If you start your day off with not honoring your commitments, you go into that meeting, your confidence is not there,
Exactly.
right? It's all about honoring your commitments.
And it is more like a rewarding thing for you. That, okay, I promised myself something, that I'll do it, and then you kind of pick up those habits,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I love. Wait, before you go to the next step, I love what you said. Reading through a book, people just think that if you're reading words, you're going to obtain the knowledge, but there's times where I will read one page about 10 times and mark every little thing, red line everything, a quote that I don't know, a word that I don't know, things that might can help me in my day to day. I'm breaking down that one, but like people take a book, read through it, think that just if they read through it, it's gonna just like be in their head. See, living living a life that, and just like you said, that's wasting time. You're not actually trying to learn what this thing is. Just like
Yeah.
making your bed. What can you do to be better at making your bed?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's those little things that make you great, and those are little things that people don't realize because they just go with the flow. They just go with the motions.
Yeah, that's the sad part too.
It's hard. Some people don't realize that, but also they do realize it, but they have this mental block in their head to make them not feel bad about it.
Mhm.
But you have to. You
Mhm.
gotta hold yourself accountable to every bad thing that happens to yourself in your
Mhm.
life. Everything that's happening to you right now is 100% because of your decisions,
Mhm.
right?
And now that you're talking about the mental breakdowns, every other thing, how you can be that right person to push away and push ahead through all of the issues and struggles and pains and everything that's wrong with your life, and you want to become that one successful person. And I don't consider myself as successful at all. um, it's because everybody has their own measures of you know own ways of measuring their success,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't hit like 30% of the list yet.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a long way to go. But what do you think that if people are coming to us with an expectation that, okay, I take your mentorship, I go through you, you teach me everything. Again, even though I have a lifetime support, right? How it is going to change my life if I come to you, and what is it that makes it different, that if I come to you or go to someone else, what's the difference that I get, what's the value that I get, and how it is going to change my life over the period of time.
Okay. So it's a loaded question.
I
I'm gonna
know.
try and hit as much as I can, but there's a whole lot that has to do with the way that I teach,
Mhm.
right? For me, I'm more of a hands-on learner, and I'm very vocal about that. I don't want to take on people that don't learn that way,
Mhm.
right? So, what I try to do is focus on what type of learner are you?
Mhm.
If you're more of a hands-on learner, if someone wants to be taught by being shown how to do something, right? Make the calls with me. Have a real person that actually owns their own brokerage. Someone that actually is going to help motivate them. Not only teach them how to freight broker, but teach them how to be the best version of themselves. From a motivational standpoint, like we talked about, health standpoint, obviously I'm not going to give them
Give them the
nutrients or
nutrients.
nutrients packet, but I'm here to motivate them to make them the best version of themselves, give them the proper tools to carve the perfect sculpture. Obviously, it's up to them to start chipping away and make that sculpture, but I'm here to show you how to do things, right? I'm here showing you what we do and how we operate. I own my own brokerage. It's lifetime mentorship, so you always have me to reach out to. I like this is what I wanted back in the day, right? Was someone to actually show me how to do things, right? Someone that actually owns their own brokerage currently, not 5 years ago, because the market changes every month. I wanted someone that could do that. Obviously, give me a job too afterwards. So, like, I'm taking a training course, okay, afterwards, and nobody knows, what I know. I would like a reputable company like us to tell other people, like brokerages, to say, hey, you know, these guys know what they're talking about. Hire them. Or if they ever want to work with us, we have the open brokerage. They can come and work with us. So to answer your question, I have everything in my freight broker course as if like I wanted a course right back in the day. I
Hmm.
wanted that lifetime mentorship. I wanted that job placement. I wanted someone to talk to whenever I had issues because this industry is like this. You have to answer those questions. I wanted that lifetime, you know, relationship with someone to really just break things down to me, and
Mhm.
it's kind of why I built this. It's where the passion comes from, and I, I highly encourage people to choose a course that fits their style of learning. This might not be a style, just like we spoke before, right? This style might not be exactly for everyone, right? 'Cause maybe somebody's a book reader or something like that. Like, pick what makes sense to you. Trust your gut, right?
Yeah,
This sounds like it's a good
you
fit
don't
for
have to be with us to be successful. You just have to be with yourself to be successful. But yes, if you want our help to help you to be the one that you want to be, then you gotta come in.
you. Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes, absolutely. You have to commit, but you have to understand, is this going to be a good fit for me, right? So, the reason why I say that, it's not like I'm trying to push people away from my course, but I'm trying to attract the people that learn my style, right? 90% of the people on this earth learn more hands-on. It's just, it's human nature,
Human
right?
nature.
I need someone to show me. So, it's not a surprise that most people are hands-on learners, right? But that other percentage of people, you know, if they're more of a book reader type learner, of course we have lots of written material that we can give them. So it's for everyone, but mainly for people that learn hands on.
100%.
Have to commit, because of course I will give you the tools to carve the perfect sculpture, but it's up to you to start chipping away.
Start chipping away.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, this is what brings me to the last part of this podcast, because again, we're gonna do this as we hit some of the milestones.
Mm-hmm.
Again, coming here, meeting you, doing all of it, it was all a business reason, but it was also one of the milestones and that we hit back in a day, and we kind of wanted to get together to talk about it, but not celebrate. So one thing, and one of the reasons that I, decided to go with this company rather than choosing all of the other option, is the major part is this is something that we can scale, but we don't have to sell our soul for it,
Mm-hmm. Agree.
right? I don't want to be that guy who rents out a Lamborghini in Dubai and just show people, hey, come to me, buy
Yeah.
my course, or buy a big ass mansion and tells them, or even go on YouTube or any other social platforms live, so that you can work with me as I'm working. And I'm definitely talking about the traders right now, because that's again one of the
Yeah.
biggest scammers in the industry nowadays. Is they would get you live on the trading part, and then they would show you what they're doing. They just make good amount of money from you, but you just barely scratch the surface.
And to clear that up, or to clear up something else, drop shipping has nothing to do with freight brokering.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh,
Drop shipping is a totally different
But
business.
we've had people asking for you for
Yeah,
drop
people are like,
shipping.
do you do drop shipping? Can you teach me drop shipping? I'm like, that's not what I do.
Yeah.
Freight brokering and drop shipping are two different businesses.
All right.
Do your research. Make sure you get into freight brokering, because that's real freight.
Mm-hmm.
Drop shipping is
Let me address this for you,
Yeah.
because this is more of the my view. Drop shipping, trading, forex trading. Uh, there's this new thing in the market called, where it's again kind of a brokering where you connect one business to the other and just make money off of that particular transaction, right? Or particular meeting, that you make sure that these two businesses are successful. Like, it's finding the cheap person or a cheap business to do the thing for you by cutting off your current supplier.
mm-hmm.
So that's the new thing in the market. That's like biggest one of the big things, or big time remote opportunities that are happening. Let me tell you, what we do is not a quick get rich scheme. Let me address that again. What we do is a real thing, and I don't have to prove it. It's there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look in your refrigerator.
Yeah.
Look at the couch. Look at your phone.
look around you. Everything that you see was transported in a truck. But what people don't understand here is, they still think, and sometimes when we used to get leads, or when you used to get interest from people, they would always be like, hey, how can I get rich? And I used to tell them, no, this is not something that you can get rich quickly in the span of next 6 months.
Yeah.
This is a real business. You have to put your work in, you have to put your efforts in, and you have to literally commit to your own self to make sure that you're getting a better, you're getting a better version of you, and you're getting better at what you're doing. If you have the capacity to do it, that's the only time that I can expect you to be better at it.
We have students that get rich quick. We do, but it's not a get rich quick scheme.
Um,
So what I'm trying to say here is there's students that hit customers a lot faster, right? So this is all a numbers game. It's how many people are you reaching out to, how you're reaching out to them. You could land a shipper tomorrow that moves, let's say lumber, right? You get 50 shipments per week, putting up $500 margins. That's a lot of money, right? But it's not a realistic thing to know. Okay, I'm gonna get rich real quick. Within a month, I'm gonna start moving 50 loads.
Yeah.
It happens, but it all
It
has to do with how hard you work, how many
Yeah.
people you reach out to, how quick you catch on, and how much effort you put into it.
Exactly. It's all about rigor, bro. And that's where, that is why I laughed right now or smiled right now because, yeah, there are people that we work with, they make more money than we do.
Yeah, yeah. It's all about the contracts that they land, right? Like there's students that I land. There's this won't say any names, but a student landed a plastic pellet company through a medical company, and these plastic pellet companies they melt these plastic pellets into medical syringes, IV
Mm.
tubes, masks. Um, they landed a contract with them. They loved her. For some reason, they like just vibed together. She moved one load, proved that she does the work very well, updated them as if you know. Uh, she just made the experience so much easier for that medical company, and all brokers pretty much do the same thing, but it was how did she make the medical company's job easier by updating them, letting them know when the driver's here, when it's delivered, here's the BOL when it comes, blah blah blah, right? So they loved her. They ended up giving her like 60 shipments every single 2 to 1 week, 1 to 2 weeks, depends. And these medical companies pay big money. They need their product from here to there at a certain period of time. If you do a good job, they'll keep you. If you do a bad job, they'll find someone else.
They find someone else.
So
Everyone replace her. Everyone
and
is
she's
replaceable.
making like $700 margins on these loads. And before all these brokers or truck drivers start getting freaked out, oh man, you're stealing all the money. Listen, our drivers get paid very well. We pay
That's a good report, by the way.
Yeah, we pay our drivers very well, and the reason why, because we could make a whole lot more money on it, right? But the reason why we pay our drivers very well is because we want them to come back to us and say, hey, I want that load again. It made me very good money, right? It makes our job automated. They come to us and say, I want those loads again. I'll take 5 this week. I don't have to be on the load board trying to find the cheapest truck. And then those cheap trucks do cheap work, right? They might show up late or not update me. So my customer's not going to like me, right? So it's very important to negotiate with your shipper properly so that you can pay your drivers very well. Both parties are happy. That's how you get a successful business.
Yeah. And this is what brings me to the last topic of this conversation is what we are building, right? And that kind of takes me back to the freight guard situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only freight guard that we are addressing, but we want to create such a transparency in the industry, and I know it is going to be very difficult. I mean, as soon as we come out with our product, the one that we're building, we have big players of this industry who's going to be attacking us from every single
Oh yeah,
angle. Wherever they can find, we will
we
be
already
attacking.
we already do.
I mean,
you
yeah,
know,
we've
but on
already
this
reached
level,
that stage.
on this level, it's gonna be a
Yeah.
whole different ballgame.
We've already reached that stage where now the bad ones are unhappy.
Yeah,
Like, they're just trying to attack us. Like, how you can do this? You're supposed to be one of us.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I read that chats, I read that messages, I read those emails, but it doesn't bother me.
Because we know who they are. They're the
Yeah.
bad brokers.
I mean,
We don't have good brokers reaching out to us saying why you're doing this. They would rather the bad brokers get out, right? Good
mhm,
brokers don't want bad brokers out there. It puts a bad name on us. We need to get rid of that. Our goals
100%.
need to get rid of all the bad brokers. Of course, there's
Mhm.
always going to be bad brokers, but I think this company, this platform that we're building, is going to help so many drivers. Because
100%.
right now, like I said, the transparency is the biggest issue in this industry. And there's so many people out there. It's hard for us to really just clear it all up with just us. If we have this platform, it's going to make it transparent for both
Super
sides.
nice. It's going to be super amazing. although there are metrics, so nobody can take benefit of the system.
Mhm.
That's the one great deal that I like about this. That as soon as we are out and people start to know about this, and nobody can take benefit of this, nor you, nor me, nor our employees, nor the truck drivers, not anyone else. No one can take the benefit of this, right? And I think this should be pretty helpful for every single one of them.
Mhm.
And
There needs to be proven evidence. There needs to be documentation. We're going to make this system to where everything is documented so we know what's going on. If it's the trucker's fault, we will know. If it's a broker's fault and they're just saying stuff, we will know. All of this will be very transparent so that no one is getting business taken away from them or food off of their plate to feed their children, because that's one of our biggest passions is these people taking food away from truck drivers, children. It's the worst thing ever, and I even see it from our side. I see these people putting freight guards on these guys' trucking companies for little things, for leaving a site because they took too long to load them. They have other loads that they got to go pick up. If you're taking that long, they have to go and do their job. They still have families to feed. So,
yeah,
and then they do a freight guard. Now they can't pick up freight through certain companies. It's just not right.
if it was so sad when I watched those videos. I mean, we haven't put out a lot, but there are certain ones, and we will not put them. I mean, I would. That's the last thing that I would do is put a man crying on the internet
Mhm.
just to get a content out of it.
Yeah.
But the saddest stories that we've heard about whatever they're doing, and how they get freight guarded, and people don't want to work with them anymore, and plus there is a lot of issues in the industry, including racism. I'm not going to hide it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it happens. It's still happening, and we gotta address that, and we
Mhm.
will. Um, but hopefully, next time when we meet, like this, we should have that ready.
6 months.
6 months, probably.
We don't know where we're gonna end up, but I know that we have a serious vision. I know we have a serious passion. We have faith,
Mm-hmm.
and this is going to happen. I mean, we have such a hard work ethic. People need this. No one's doing it. Like, truck drivers are trying to make a law for the transportation, like the transportation industry, make a law that the transparency is going to happen. It's not going to work. It's if the law happens, they're still not going to be transparent. It's
There's
not going to
always
work.
a loophole. There's always a loophole in the system. There's always something that
Mhm.
would, you know, come to the surface later. But by the time it comes to the surface, it's already late because people have taken advantage of it,
Mhm.
right? So there's something that we can, do to at least help out. I'm not saying the product will be perfect. At least we don't work with it, get it right, and it is a long process of the years. But at least we need to get it out, and we will.
Mhm.
The first thing that I want is the truck drivers to be assisted properly. First of all, that's the biggest issue that I've seen, that you get the load, but your broker is not helping you out,
Mhm.
right? You're stuck somewhere, you try to communicate, the broker doesn't do that. Broker's not providing you the information. There's this recent video that appeared on the internet where it was there were two cars that was supposed to be delivered to the dealership, and they were very expensive, and they were supposed to be covered, but the broker never told the driver that they're
Mm.
supposed to be covered, and he just took it, and it's a brand new car with plastics on. PDI is not done yet, and it's muddy, it's damaged, rock chips are there, and now it's a pain for the dealership, and they're not going to pay the driver well. I mean, there is an issue that's happening. So this is what also we need to make sure that the communication is better and all of it. But I don't want to put out the whole idea to you guys.
I think that that's very important that you say that because, um, believe it or not, a broker, of course, we work very hard at what we do. Um, but there's things in place that you have to make sure are written down. So, like, there's a rate con that gets sent to a driver when they agree to a rate. Make sure that all of that is documented. But I'm speaking in regards to a freight broker,
Mm-hmm.
right? Make sure all of that is documented in the description saying there needs to be tarps covering these cars. or there needs to be something covering these cards. Make sure all of that is so the the truck driver knows, right? But these these larger corporations, they're hiring people that don't care about anything. They just care about a quick buck,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's why it's so important to know good brokers, right? There's nothing to see if these guys are good or bad, right? It's all about the trucks.
Mm-hmm.
We have to make that. We have to make that happen.
Let's meet again in 6 months, and by the time, let's have the product ready.
Hmm.
But for now, I think that's pretty much it, right? We've hit our milestones. We've, you know, did the things that we wanted to, and now it's time to move on to the next chapter.
Yeah, I do want to say this, and I
Mm-hmm.
know this is a little,
Cliche.
no, not cliche. I would say a little vulnerable of me to say,
Mm-hmm.
but you truly are
Thank
like
you very much.
very close to me, and I know it's only been less than a year that we've been working together, but sometimes God puts you in place with a person that you just know is always going to be in your life forever. And I encourage every single person to try and find that Prathamesh, and that Prathamesh to find that trend, because you have
Agreed.
no idea the type of um, the type of visions that we create, the type of motivation we energize to each other. Like, you guys need to find people with the same vision as yourself.
Mm.
And I'm not gonna get back into that, but I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. You, um, you just you're truly a good person, a good human being, a good partner, and now a brother of mine. And this is amazing, man. And I love this journey with you. And we are going to help so many people. If we stay
100%.
loyal to each other, this thing is going to be amazing, right?
Exactly.
People need to have loyal people around them.
And I really appreciate your kind words, though. And genuinely, I appreciate it, because an opportunity is something that one has to take. I had the opportunity and I just took it, right? People don't have the guts to do that because they're, and again, it is understandable because they have their own responsibilities that they need to take care of. But if you think that you can take care of your responsibilities while taking the opportunity, just go for it. Don't stop. Uh, One thing that I'd like to tell, piggyback on what you said, finding the right prathamesh and find the right trend, that is only possible if you don't have any hatred towards each other,
Yeah.
right? I've been seeing this thing, like you and I, when we go out and hang out, the weirdest looks that we get, and especially I get, you've noticed it firsthand
Yeah.
last
Yeah. Yeah.
yesterday,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, if there is a hate towards any other race, it's there's a hate towards anything else, you gotta put that behind. Otherwise, it's not gonna happen. You will never
And
find that person.
and um, me and Prathamesh have very uncomfortable conversations, but it's an exercise for both
Yeah,
of us.
100%.
We had a conversation yesterday that was a little bit more personal, but it
Mm-hmm.
made us better.
It is true.
Those are so important as a business team, as a brother. You
Mm-hmm.
have to make sure you speak about those little things so that you can become a better person, because you're not perfect, I'm not perfect,
Nobody's perfect.
no one's perfect. Even
No
you,
one's.
you know it's just so important to have those conversations. They feel weird, it makes your face feel swollen, or you start
Red.
sweating, or it's okay, because guess what, when you talk about it, you're going to shake hands afterwards and figure out how to make it better.
Yeah. So
And that's
just
something that I can say I'm very blessed to have with you. And it's such a blessing to be able to speak. Like, I even spoke with him in front of my wife about things like this, and she's looking on the other side going, oh gosh, I hope nothing bad's going on. But
Yeah.
that's just how we talk.
Exactly.
That's how entrepreneurs should talk, right? Be real with each other, be honest with each other, figure out a solution, and keep going at it.
Keep going at it. 100%. I mean, these are the conversations that you should have, but these are just behind the closed doors.
Yeah.
And people tend to miss that part.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe one day we might have a little conversation where we can talk about the deeper things, because we're
Yeah.
comfortable with talking about it, so why not, right? And it might relate to people, because there might be a business person out there that's scared to talk to their partner about things, because I think that's the reason why most people fail in business, is because they let ego get to them and they hide everything and assume, right? Rather than bringing it to the forefront, speaking about it, coming up with a solution, and making something better out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you hide things and you don't speak about it, and then you let ego take care of you, you don't know the real mindset behind the other person, right?
Agreed.
Am I saying it
No,
out of
you're right. What's I think should be portrayed in this scenario is the transparency between you and your business partner is really really important, because sometimes though, like here's the dynamic of us. I don't tell him what I do, nor he tells me what he's doing, right? But on some of the side, we already know what you're doing,
Mhm.
right? It's just that weird dynamic that happens. But sometimes though, it is important for you to explain to the other person why are you doing this and what is the reason
Yeah.
behind you taking this risky step that contradicts everything and every single principle that you've been following, right? But it's again to support that, but it just works in a very
Wondering
different way.
why, right? Rather than critiquing, pointing the finger, and saying why that's wrong, the
Just
best
talk.
thing is saying why.
Why?
Why? I just want to know why, right? In
Exactly.
the most respectful, respectful way, and you're not gonna know why someone's doing something because again, bro, I'm from the opposite side of the world.
Opposite side
You're
of the
from the
world.
opposite side of the world,
Yeah.
and it's so cool. It's so interesting to speak to you about certain things because your life is totally different than mine, but we do align with a lot of the same things. But those little things we have to understand that like we gotta figure those things out, right? Because it's gonna make us even better.
Even better.
Like I just this one trip, bro. I've been with you for a few days, right? And 2 days. So I've learned so much about you just being here with you. And you've learned so much about me.
100%.
And this just unlocked the next step.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm very blessed. I'm very glad that our business, was able to fund this type of thing and make something like this happen because we have greater things to do.
Greater things to do.
God wouldn't
100%.
put us in this position
Never.
if he didn't believe in us.
Yeah. Yeah. With that, let's just end it. Meet after 6 months again. At a different location or probably the same one. I don't know.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
I
in
love
love
it.
with this place.
Yeah, this is very like back roads, but like luxury. There's a nice strip. There's a beach across the way. Very
No,
beautiful place.
It's just the country and the people, bro.
Yeah.
I'm in literal love with them.
Yeah.
They're so nice. They're so amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just meet again and
Great conversation, man.
have this conversation
Let
again.
me get some of that. Thank you, man. We got big things coming up.
Big things coming up. Let's go. Oh, this thing died already.